I had to make an intro to this video because it kind of starts in mid-sentence. I'm talking about the multispectral scanner on board the Landsat 2 and 3 spacecraft, and it just I don't know what I did, I cut it wrong. But anyway, so that's the intro coming up now.
Spectral scanner data was much lower. I forget what it was, but I remember 120 IPS, and out of a 9,600 foot tape reel, you could only get about 14 minutes of data or something. We probably do the math and figure that out, but you only had, the pass could only, of the satellite to the ground station could only be about 14 minutes. And pretty cool stuff. But anyway, okay, that's clean. I'm going to put it back in and try to use my part and reassemble the big flywheel. And then we'll go from there. Okay, so before we put the capstan holder in place, let's take a look and get this idler tire off. It's this thing, this mucky mess. That should just be, all right. This guy, nope. Okay. I'm going to kind of pull it off. Good Lord. The revenge of the gunk. Let's see, that's the best way to do this without removing the entire thing. Although, we might want to, so we can clean it. Ouch. Let's see. It's pressed into here. Let's see, you can't see it. This, right here. I'd rather not take that off because I don't know. Oops, I don't know how to get it back in. So I'll tell you what, let's go to this side and try and remove it from here. I think it probably, this thing here probably comes off, but I'd rather not. So, because I think we can get the new one on. I have a new one. So, it's a bit stretchy, which is good. So now we just have to figure out how to get this one off. Perhaps some pliers. I can get that. Yeah, maybe not. We'll see. Cut it since we don't need it, and it's all gunky. Yikes. I mean, it's rubbery still, I guess, but there we go. Oh, damn it. Darn it. There we go. Don't want to break the plastic. because it's very hard to replace these. I'm sorry if my hand is all in the way here. There we go. Alright, so this is gross, but we're doing pretty good. We got that off. Now we need to clean again. Spend half your time cleaning in here, especially when it's, I don't know, if you've had it worse, sorry, let me know. I'm sure you have. Push that back. Yeah, let's give it a go here. When I was at NASA, I had to clean a lot of heads, and you know, God, I must have mounted thousands of tapes, because one of the jobs we had, they were, you know, image processing back in the day was done in stages because it just computing wasn't there, you know, there just wasn't enough power, so you'd split it up between a lot of machines. As I recall, for Landsat 2 and 3, I think it was about 6 before you actually put it on film. Yes, film. It wasn't digital. And the film part was fascinating. Once it got to the point where you could actually make pictures of it, remember, it was taking pictures of the Earth, land. It's called Landsat. And you know, you had to make film out of it. Well, it's not any film. It was, gosh, I can't remember. It's about 2 to 3 inch wide reels of film loaded into what was called an electron beam recorder. There were only 2 made in the world at the time. Eventually, that laser technology for Landsat 4 and 5, they used laser beam recorders to make the film. So they would do that, but all that stuff you had to learn how to operate, and I did. Also for Landsat 2 and 3, I had to become certified on the TR-70, RCA's TR-70. You can Google that. So this is it. The RCA TR-70 tape recorder player, used mostly in the television industry, but was adapted for use with RBV data, which is return beam Vidicon from Landsat 2 and 3, to basically record on these kind of tapes. It took a certification, and well, eventually I got a certification. I ran for it for a while, but it was nice to have the training. Very cool. You can see my certificate there. Tape recorder, which I'll have a picture of it in here soon, once I figure out how to get this on without screwing it up. And it was a beast. The tapes were, I want to say they're 3 inches wide, but that may be a little, maybe 2.5. And heavy. They were used in, they were more traditionally used in like TV stations. For the television, you know, they'd record it on that, and that's what you would see for, you know, repeats and things of the news. Out of the picture again. All right, here we go. Come on. I don't want to use the pliers to grab it because I don't want to rip it, because these things are expensive, actually. All right, let's see. Get in there. I think I got these from, that looks like it rolled. There we go, that looks good. Now this one, tuck yourself in there. There we go. Back down and in. Come on, I'm going to use sharp things on it. Yeah, we're doing all right. We got some of it in this part. You can see it. So let's see. Come on, twist yourself over and tuck in. Probably would have been better to take it off, but those of you with more experience doing this, like Dr. Cassette, that dude certainly knows his cassette decks. Very good. Come on. Go in. Go in. All right, that's in, that's in. And then it comes out. That's in. That looks like it's in. It's got to be round, right? Because it's going to grab this wheel. Darn it. Sorry, I keep going off camera. This wheel. And the one we're going to put back in from the thing. All right, I'm going to take a quick look at this. Okay, I was able to coax that on. Now that's good. This is cleaned. This is good. Now we have to go ahead and put back this thing with the rubber piece in it that the capstan will go through. But while I'm on the front, before I do all that, I think we're going to address this poor red orange gear here this thing right here, I mean, it literally fell into pieces. And I'm not sure what the material is, maybe nylon, but man, I could swear plastic. They tell me plastic should last forever, but boy, it gets brittle and just fell apart. The other one seems okay. I don't want to fiddle with it too much to see if it, I don't want it to die, but I think, let's see, it just did it again. I mean, it is literally clipping apart. All right, so that's off. Here it is. This little guy used to be a gear. Now I have one, at least I think I have one. Let's see. All right, the white one is the one I have, and the red one's the one we just took out, and I'll be darned if it's probably right. So let's clean that. Always clean the thing, man, or else you'll be back in here. And as you see, this is not a simple job. I mean, it's not like terribly complex, but if there's anything wrong with the electronics, without a bunch of help from you guys, I'm done, because I don't really know. I have a multimeter and barely know how to use it. So let's let that dry, and then we'll put this guy in, and it's held on with the tiniest washer and the tiniest, what they call E-clips, and it looks like an E. Let me see if there's any. Oh yeah, there's ones right here around this. Let me turn this light out. Sorry about that. Right here, I'll get my handy dandy pointer. This guy is an E-clip. Now imagine this guy is also an E-clip. Now I'm going to look at the size of this thing. It is super tiny. So when you're working with this, beware losing your clip. Now for the pièce de résistance. Well, maybe, oh yeah. See, this will come into, I hope anyway. I think, all right, that doesn't move. I think that one does though. Let's say it works, because I don't know the exact thing that rubs it, but it looks a lot better than what was in there, because what was in here was never going to work. All right. This is the tiniest. And I'm not going to be able to put this on my hand because it's so tiny. I'll show you in a second. I'll use these. This is really the one I want. So there. I'll get it out over here. See how tiny it is. We're going to drop that on there. Then, oh boy, the tiniest frigging E-clip. Where are you? Here you are. So you can kind of see that in the white there. and how tiny it is. Boy, they must have had, I wonder if a machine did this, but it was in late 70s. This was 1980. I saw a date on the motor. And I need to put it on here and then push it on with pliers. This is going to be fascinating. I might need my handy dandy wife. I don't even know. Let's see if we can lay it on there at least. You don't want to drop it on your carpet. You'll never. If you do, get one of those real powerful magnets, like the kind to find studs. I gotta see something in the manual before we move forward. I'm making sure that washer belongs on there because it fell off. It's super tiny, but it looks like it's a little big for that gear. So let me do that. Okay, so let's get you back in the right position here. I'm having a little trouble. You can see I've got the E-clip on. Now what you need to do is find your tiniest of pliers. Don't jar this thing around. Like I said, you don't want to lose it. Ah, there we go. And you have to get on the back of it and using the post for one like this is what I've seen them do, and then push it or crunch it on there. Don't do that. See? Alright, so I'm magnetized, which in this case, let's try the other pair. Easy, easy, easy. Oh, that one is too. Alright. Now let's get you lined up. I'm going to try to show you. Oop, easy now. I might not have. Ah! Oh boy. Alright, don't move, don't panic. It just jumped. We're going to have to find it. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. I found it. But I'm going to have to get a little bit more light on the scene here, so. How's that? Oh, it's not too bright. So it's right here. And we need to kind of line it up so it's straddling the post. Oh boy. Actually, it was easier to take off. Easy now. Alright, so I think that's on there. Okay, deep breath. I feel like a surgeon here. Let's hold her still. Oh. See, I may have too much shake in my hands. I'll be 65 this year. So, you can see what happens. Alright, we're going to get that above that. There we go, right there. Okay, this magnet, I'm going to have to go try and demagnetize this thing, because otherwise it's kind of wreaking havoc. I'll just put that back in my book there. And it was the right washer, by the way, or at least so it says. So let me go demagnetize the tool. I'll be back. Alright, my wife is going to attempt to put that little tiny thing on the spindle.
Oh, shoot. Came off. Oh, it's magnetic.
I just demagnetized those. I don't know.
Okay, so hold on. I have it. It is magnetized. Put it back on for me again. Okay.
Alright, hang on. Take two. It's on the plier.
Yes. Of course it is.
Try this.
Take 3, 4, 5.
Okay, my wife was able to successfully put this on. It is the tiniest clip that I've ever seen. So that's on. The new tire is on. This is on. And now we're going to put the capstan back in. So let me get it set up. Okay, I'm trying to screw this back in. We've cleaned it. We replaced the other stuff out front, the gear and the tire. I'm hoping the gear is the right size. It might not be. So the problem is I don't have the old gear to compare it to. But the lucky thing is we can get to that on the front, not in the back, not here. So. Hang on a second. Trying to so you can see what I'm doing, but it's difficult. Stop swinging. All right. Okay, now let's check the other side and make sure there's. Let me get a little pointer here. There's this thing, which you can't see. There we go. So this thing in here has got to be in place because we're going to place. It's rubber that hits rubber that hits this part. This part's been cleaned. Rubber, rubber. So now we get to try and put the big guy back in. Let's give it a go here. Now what I'm looking for is it's going to have some resistance. Let's see. Like this part is turning, but I don't want to force it through. Probably should have test fit it first. Alright, it's on it. Now we're just going to wiggle it through. Yeah, there we go. See it coming out? Yeah, there we are. Oh, okay, so that, the capstan is now back out. I got to put a little washer on it. This right here is what just punched through. There's the rubber piece meeting the rubber piece here, which moves back and forth. And I can't really demonstrate that right yet, but yeah. So we got that, and what's next? Okay, now I'm gonna have to oil that. Put a little oil in there. I'm gonna go get my oil. And put a little oil here. Just a little. And then I'll go ahead and work that in. Oh, boy, it got slippery in a hurry, didn't it? All right, well, it looks like that worked. All right, so let's see what else we can do here. Okay, we're going to try to put this belt back on. You don't want to stretch it too much. Oh, poop. Come on. No, that's not right. There we go. Be sure it's in the center of okay. Yeah, that's better. There we go. So before I close up, I realized I wasn't recording. I'm going to put the check for the other belt. There's a counter belt, and I'm not sure where that goes. I gotta go check that out. So, okay, I put this back together. Whoa, hold on. Let's try that again. We put this back together last night. It's not too difficult. There's several screws on the back. I apologize for the hand holding of the camera, but so we made sure everything was clean, put the belt on, which is not difficult. I didn't take enough pictures when I took it apart, so be warned, you need to do that. So also on here, we've replaced this guy, and a little rubber thing in there that caused all that unbelievable mess. So, upon preliminary working, it looks like it's working. We won't know until we get it back. My suggestion is to try to get it in there loosely fit and stable so it doesn't short anything out, and then power it back up. But we got to go to phase 2, which is the box here. All right, as you can see, somebody, and it wasn't me, had replaced the power cord at some point. The limiter, the thing that keeps you from pulling it out from the power supply, is damaged, and the protection is electrical tape. That's not good. Neither one of those is good. So we're gonna eventually fix that. I've got to figure out if I can find a limiter for it and fix that electrical protection. So the next step would be we have to clean all the switches, where there's one big long one in there that travels from left to right. I'm trying to see if it will autofocus. Doesn't seem like it wants to. Anyway, and then there's the potentiometers. Okay, let's start again. Yeah, it was a complete silent movie there. All right, so we put this back together and we replaced this gear, this tire, and the thing inside here, I forget the actual official name of it. So there we go. And clean the heads, and all you do is run a alcohol swab across. And then I put it back, together. Put the belt on, I cleaned a few, there's a couple switches on the back side of here. So I had to clean those with, I used the old Radio Shack electronics cleaner. Of course, Radio Shack's not around anymore, so you have to find an appropriate one. And generally cleaned it up and got it running. So here is the motherboard and the panel board. You can see somebody, not me, changed this out, the power cable coming in, and that's very dangerous. We're going to have to fix that. While it works, like if you were to pull in the cord, you could yank it right out of the power supply, so we don't want that. And it's a shock hazard. Definitely don't want that. This thing here, the long metal thing, is the switches, I should say. And we're going to need to clean that. We're going to spray some cleaner in there. And back here, sorry, I can't really, these things right here, sorry, the autofocus won't work properly because I guess I'm moving it around too much. There we go. So those two guys, we're going to clean those, and we just spray. There's little tiny holes you can see. You can spray some cleaner in there and then move the knobs back and forth, basically. Okay, so we're going to do that and see. I was in software testing forever. And you don't want to basically put the entire thing back together, then turn it on, and then hope for the best. The best thing is you're going to have to get it in there, sort of fit it to where it's partially installed, and then let's try some of the tape stuff like play, rewind, fast forward. And then we have to figure out, does everything work? So I've got some tapes and things, and we'll run through all that. So that's what we're going to do.
Hey there, folks. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment on what you see here. We've got more episodes coming real soon. Look forward to hearing from you in the comments below.